Really happy, everyone, that we have the Sisters J here again. The last time they were on was February 6th last year, almost over a year ago. And it's comprised of Elisabeth and Lily Jackson, the dynamic sibling duo who seamlessly blend artistry with advocacy. And we have their mom, Mary Jackson, who is an author. And there's two songs that she wrote for her daughter. So she's considered to be part musician as well.
One. There's one.
One,
I
just
wrote,
one
yeah,
song. Oh,
yes, one that I wrote with Elizabeth and my co-writer Thornton. So we got some other songs I think we're going to work on.
Oh,
So
absolutely, yeah.
well, that's good. Well, we can relate to the last episode we were on, but also that I remember your latest single was a year ago, was "Breathe In," which was a good one,
hmm
and it was climbing. It was number 10 on both the world indie charts, Euro indie charts. It must have been number 2 at one point. Now, did it?
yes, it was absolutely yes, and it actually helped them win the gold vocal duo for in ISSA last year for International Singer Songwriters Association. So this August they will get to actually the judging for that ends March 31st. And so the girls, we've got to get all that information because they're judging, and then they will be at the event in August to present I don't know, that award. I don't know if it'll be other awards to the other artists. So that'll be exciting.
So, Lily and Elizabeth. So you still write poignant lyrics and soaring harmonies to make your music a beacon of hope for all. Did anybody contact you and say that "Breathe and Help Me," or any of your songs that somebody's written you and said it really helped me in midst of struggle and stuff like that?
Not written us, but tell us verbally.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. Excellent. So, can I ask you? So, for people who don't know who the Sisters J are, who the Sisters J, why did you pursue music? And how old were you when you first started thinking this is what we want to do?
This is a long question, well, a long answer, I should say. We were raised with music and dancing and acting and all the things. So it's always been a part of our lives. I remember being 11 years old, that being the first time that I really knew that music was what I wanted to do. I didn't know exactly what route that looked like then, but I knew that it's what I wanted to do because that's when I started playing clarinet and being in band and then choir and theater and all of that followed. And I still play clarinet today. I was playing a lot today. I'm doing that in school. I'm in my 14th year of playing, which is crazy. And then Lily and I started doing musical theater together, and she started before I did, but that's really when we kind of found our voices, and we loved singing together, just singing just for the sake of singing. And I started writing songs when I was 12 or 13, just because I love to write. I love to write poetry. That's something that Mom instilled in both of us. Is if you can't get what's in here out, write it, sing it, act it, dance it, go play sports, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And so I remember being 15 or 16 and being like, Lily, come over here. Come help me with this. Sing it like this.
Oh, okay, Lisa.
It was like pulling teeth sometimes, but, you know, I'm just kidding. Then we started privileges, and it just kind of took off from there, really, especially after Mom wrote her first children's book. And her writing partner wrote 10 songs for the book, and then we recorded those songs for the CD in the back. And so that just kind of opened the door to, what if we did this? What if we continued to do this? What would that look like? And
yeah, because you guys started doing book events with us. So we would go do our readings and they would perform. So that was really cool. That was so much fun. 2017, about 2017.
So
well, amazing. Well, whatever made you married that you just decided you wanted to be an author? Like, what was going through your head? Was there any other type of talent or whatever that you wanted to pursue, or did you just say, I want to write, and then write the book?
No, it didn't go like that. I have written poetry my whole life and thought about being published, but never thought it was possible, because you dream, but you don't ever think. Sometimes we think our dreams aren't ever going to come true, so we just kind of tuck them away. And after I had already been in film and TV, and I had danced my whole life. I danced at Disney World when I was 16, and so I had already had all that in my life, and then everything kind of changed. We moved, and then I became a mom, and then I was doing other things. But my son, after he was born, late, he was my youngest. I was 45 after he was born, and it was a pretty tough birth in the end. And then my recovery was really tough. And when he was about 5 months old, I was sitting there nursing, and I was in this state of just complete gratitude to God that we were both alive, that we had survived everything. And this download came really like out of nowhere of this little story. And I was like, whoa. I just thought it was so cute, and I would save it for my children. And so I guess for about 2 years, I had this nudging on my shoulder telling me that I needed to do something with it. And so when I finally did, I was introduced to my co-writer. We've been co-writing for 9 years now, but we were introduced and we hit it off right away. And he loved the little story. I wrote a ton of things. That would have been 2013. So when this happened to me, then I started writing all the time because things were just flowing. And it was funny because for a period of time, I couldn't do anything but rhyme. Everything was rhyming. I was like, what is wrong with me? I mean, I love Dr. Seuss, but what is happening here? So poetry, stories, all kinds of things. And so when Thornton and I met in 2015, then he saw this story, that's the first of my trilogy that's out there now in the Inspired Kid series. But he loved it and said, hey, can I write 10 songs for this book? And I was like, sure. And he was already a Dove a Grammy nominee. I guess I didn't even know it at the time. So that's sort of how it started, was that, he wrote the songs and the girls recorded them. I found an illustrator. And then, by 2016, we had a contract and the book launched February 9th, 2017. So, and now there's 3 of them in that series. And then we're working on a middle grade reader still forever. It'll come out soon. But that's how that all happened. So it's pretty cool.
What is like I always ask musicians what the song process is to come up with this beautiful song. So in your fact, what is the writing process to come up with a poetry book or a book? Like, what do you start with first? Do you have to flesh out everything, and then what do you do?
Are you talking, who are you asking?
You, Mary.
Oh, me. Okay, wait. Yeah. So what is your question? I apologize.
Should we ask that question again?
Yeah, for clarity.
One more time. Okay.
So I said, I usually ask a musician what their song process is like. So with you, because you're an author, right, what is your writing process like? How do you start to write? What do you do exactly?
Wow, that's a good question. I think for me, a lot of times it's inspiration that comes. I can hear something, I can see something. There might be an issue that's going on, like that we need to stand up for, or I'm in nature and nature's full of metaphors. So it comes in a variety of ways. I've also had to learn to write in the car rider line, at practices, at rehearsals, at performances, waiting on my kids. So I've had to learn to grab those moments. I always keep a notebook with me, or I use the recorder on my phone. I have since 2013. And so I would say now I write more with purpose than with it just flowing. Like now it's, I'm writing a story for middle grade readers, but I want them to learn how to take ownership for the things they do and how to be a better friend and how to accept themselves and others. So there's a purpose behind the writing now, more than just sitting there and letting it flow. And then sometimes things still flow. But I think when God lays something on your heart, you need to get it out and you need to write it. And that's kind of been where mine has been, God saying, you got to do this. It's just like now I'm on syndicated radio. I started out doing live shows as a live streamer. And 2017, God said, you need to do this. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he said, I don't care, do it anyways. So I did. And here I am 7 years later, but there was purpose to that because it provides a platform for people to talk about their books and stories. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's kind of been my journey.
Yeah, you also won the Gold Maxi Award. You were also the Gold Maxi Award winner back in 2017. Now that's for only illustrations, the tenderness of the story and the music all mixed together for beautiful children's read. That's what they said.
Yeah,
Awesome. And
that was an honor.
And also because of the book that you wrote called Perfectly Me, that's inspired the kids series. That's awesome. Like you just write for kids. I'm really inspired by that.
Thank you.
When you have a podcast, I sent Aaron Ryan to you.
I know. And I think I sent you, if I did not send an email back saying thank you, I think I did. That's how we, yes. I love Aaron. He's amazing.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. And I've connected him with some other authors who are like big authors. They're writing for Tom Clancy. And, I sent him on to those. I connected him with those people.
Did you ever get Lady Miranda as well? Because she was an author as well.
No,
Miranda Rain? Oh, okay.
I don't think I've interviewed her yet.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you're writing these children's books. Look at Me, The Wonder of Me. So what is it about children's books that you want to write? Why not just write like a novel, like a mystery novel, like Nancy Drew series or something?
I know. I would love to. I know. Like Lily, and I don't know about time to talk about it, but she's got a novel we're going to try to get published, and it's 500 pages. And it's terrifying to me because mine are small and they're easy and they're quick. So what happened with the children's, and then but I do have a mystery series that we're going to be working on, but it's for middle graders. And I've got 6 anthologies I'm in for grownups, and that's with other authors, and that's all motivational stuff. But for the children, when I was in Carson's world, when he was little, it was like that was the time to write because I could see the world through his eyes, and I could remember the world through Elisabeth and Lily's eyes and that wonder. And I think that's one of my most favorite places in the whole world is the wonder of that age and that innocence. And I wish we could be there all the time because it would be so much more fun than the real world. So it's about the purpose for those books are Carson came into this world with challenges. Lily and Elisabeth have both had challenges. And it's about accepting ourselves exactly how we are, how we came into this world, that we're okay. And there are I am pages in each of those books. And it's about getting children started on positive language very early in their life because it makes a huge impact on how they grow and how they interact with others. If they have positive language about themselves, they can stand up for themselves. They can, be able to keep themselves from being bullied. They can not be the bully if they can work their emotions out for themselves. So that's where all that comes from.
So when you wrote that song for Lily and Elisabeth, what was the motivation for that? Did you ask her to help you, or did it just come, oh, you want to help us? Okay, write it.
Open Win was a combination of Elisabeth and Thornton and I coming together and saying Thornton and I wanted to partner with Elisabeth and write a song for the girls to get started. Now they had already had a song out called You Shine Through, and that was the cover, but we wanted to do an original for them. So Elisabeth, I'm going to let you tell this story because it's based on a truth in your life where the story came from for Open Win. Right?
Yes. There's so much to this story. It comes from receiving open win letters from friends, like open when you need a hug, open when you're happy, open when you need a song suggestion, things like that. Because we did that for some of our friends who were graduating high school and they were going away to college, and so they could take bits of home with them. And then people did that for me as well. One of my friends did it for me for my 16th birthday, which was very sweet. And that's where I really got the idea. And then I'm trying to think. My brain is all over the place today. You'll have to forgive me.
It was July 2021 that we wrote that song, and it didn't come out until the next June.
We thought, what a cool concept. What if we turned it into a song? Because it's got like personal resonance with it, because Mom used to send me open wind letters in the mail when I was away at school, which was very sweet. So she'd send me stuff in the mail, like things I needed, and then I'd get a couple open wind letters, which were so nice, and which helped because I went 3 hours away for school, and you live at home forever, and then you go away, and it's very different. So it's just about like taking pieces of home or other people with you wherever you go. And that's what we wanted to do with the song, like open when you need a new song, open when you forget where you belong. So that's where it can be for friends, it can be for family, it can be for anybody you want it to be.
I think it's still one of our favorites. And I still think the song should be in a commercial. I think we should be producing open wind stuff. We have people who tell us it's one of their very favorites of the songs that the girls have done so far, because it's got a lot of personal meaning for people. And actually all the songs the girls have out do, and they really want to put out positive, conscious music, music that's going to uplift, and it's got meaning behind it. And, it's got the feels to it.
So what about what makes Thornton Klein, the author and composer, and Alice Antony, the illustrator, what makes them important that nobody else can do what they do?
Well, I think Alice has got an incredible talent as an artist. I mean, she really does beautiful work. And
Sorry, continue. Never mind.
No, it's okay, babe. Go ahead. You want to say?
I was going to go on to Thornton, but you talk about what you want to talk about.
Well, I was just going to say, I think that when you've got creative people who come together, and then there's a spark that happens, and creativity is born from those relationships. And that's like when you meet up, when you talk, when you're on the phone, when you're that's what happens between you. That makes it very unique. That doesn't happen with everybody in your life. Mm-hmm. I mean, the relationship I've had with Thornton for 9 years, I don't have with anyone else. And we get on the phone and we're like, hey, that's a song. Hey, that's a book title. Hey, you know what I mean? It's just like, it just flows. It really flows. And we're very good about taking constructive information or constructive criticism from each other, because we don't always, I may not like the angle he's going for. He may not like the angle I'm going through. He thinks it should be this way, Or I think, we're talking about this age. We need to be here. So we're able to hear each other, and we pick I don't want to say pick battles, but we give grace to each other to be inclusive. I just think, when you've got that kind of spark with someone, like when the girls get together with Ted, their producer, it's incredible, the magic that happens. And it's like boom, boom, boom. And they come up with all kinds of stuff. And it's just so magical to watch. But that doesn't happen with everybody else. You know what I mean? And so I think it's just very, it's like marriages, right? Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So, I don't know what the key ingredient is. I think it's openness. It's allowing for you to be there, and then this other person to be there, or however many people you're collaborating with, and to be able to have all the voices heard. I think, it's a very mature, I think, interaction between people. And the girls have, they both have 2 collaborations coming up with 2 different artists, which is going to be really exciting to see how that goes. Because it's not somebody, we know these people, they haven't worked with them yet. So, that's going to be exciting.
Wow, that's a good story. Well, what is it like to be a advocate for certified special needs advocate for autism?
Okay, I just heard my son come in with some other hooligans, so I hopefully I'm not going to be too loud. But it's after school, and so it's a very important thing to me in my life, because advocacy is been so much a part of my life since Elisabeth was born. That being able to be an ambassador advocate for them since 2018, and then do all the work that I've done. There are a lot of things that I didn't know I was ever going to do in my life. So it's meant so much to me. And even now, like I just wrote up a run of show for a video for one of our major sports teams here in the Nashville area. They're going to create a video out of it, and it's going to go up for marketing and on their website and out everywhere, showing people, a family with a neurodivergent child and a typical child coming to a baseball game, and what they have to offer when you come to the game. If a child needs help, to be able to sit there and watch if they get upset or have sensory issues, but being able to do that, and being able to train people on the early signs and symptoms of autism and how to spread awareness and help with sensory areas, sensory rooms, sensory period. I mean, it's really it's gift to be able to do that. And I'm grateful to be able to be a part of that.
Good. What do you think of AI? Like, Mary, ever thought of just with AI and have it just create this book for you and say, look, I finally finished my book?
Well, actually, my publisher won't let us do that. We had to sign a contract saying we won't use AI, but I know a lot of people who are using AI to write books right now. So and the girls can talk about it, what it's doing for animation, what it's doing to music. I mean, it's kind of a scary world for any creator right now. And it'd be great to just whip those things out. But, Elisabeth and Lily and I are on the side fighting for humanity to still reign through and to be able to conquer over AI, for it not to take over everything.
So what about you, Lily and Elizabeth? Tell me more about AI. What do you think of it, and about writing your music and your songs? How do you feel about everything?
I think there are two sides to every story. I'm not the hugest fan of it when it comes to creation, because I don't want to see it take people's jobs or take the humanity and human connection out of music, because that's the entire thing that it draws people together, and it has a different type of connection than a lot of other things do. I have seen apps that use AI to help people write songs. And I did download it just because I was curious. I was very curious to see what that looked like and how you can structure it. Now, and it's not, from what I saw, there wasn't a ton of AI. It just provides tools and basics to help people who may not necessarily be as musically inclined or have gone through school to understand all the concepts, to help them write music, blah, 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 blah. So I think under a certain light in the area of music, AI can be helpful, but there need to be boundaries that are not crossed, because music is such an abstract thing. You can't put it in a box, and you shouldn't put it in a box. I don't know if that answered your question, because I don't see a ton of AI with just what I'm doing outside of people having AI write your papers. And I have seen people use it to help, say they're writing program notes or things, just to get some concise research rather than if you're in a bind with time. So it helps, but I just again think that boundaries with that is extremely important, because it could get out of hand very quickly.
Do you like that new Final Beatles song, Now and Then, that was done by using AI?
I actually have not heard it, I won't lie, but I will go listen to it after this interview and let you know.
Okay, now they didn't use AI to write the song. They've been writing songs since 1980, but after George Harrison and John Lennon died, they worked on it until about a year and a half ago, where they used AI to extract John Lennon's vocals from the piano, and they used AI to extract George Harrison's. They put it all together, and they came out with the final Beatles tune. Just because they used AI doesn't mean they used the AI to write the song, so it can be
Right.
used for good. But I have heard music where you think it's Amy Winehouse and it's AI. It's sounds like her. Or they put the first 8 seconds of Hey Jude by the Beatles and through an AI, and it completes the song.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Unfinished Symphony, AI completes it. But if you put it through 10, 20 times, it completes it with different endings. So it's fun, but you what make what if you can't, what if you have to bow to it? What if you have to there's nothing you can do, no human
We will
enjoyment.
never bow.
Never bow.
No. What does he say in Braveheart? What's one of the last scenes in Braveheart? Yeah, whatever. What does he say? I can't remember it right now, but yeah, we will never bow down.
How it would be helpful, because we've seen it be used as a tool for good and for positivity. Absolutely.
Sure.
I just don't want to see it take over, especially in the creative.
To take the humanness away, because then what are we going to do as creatives? We're intended to be creative in this world. So what are we going to do if we can't be creative? I mean, that would be the worst thing, I think, that could happen through AI. Now, granted, I mean, if say I want to whip out a journal for women with a specific topic, and I don't have a lot of time to put into it, AI would be fantastic for that, or a VA, a virtual assistant, and things like that, I think would be really great. If you want to do content writing for companies, it's wonderful. I do know a lot of people who use it for those reasons. If we want to do a bio or a resume, they're fantastic for those, for helping out. But I think when the flow is coming through and the creativity is coming through, we really want that to continue to be honored in the world.
Yeah. What about you, Lily? What if you had a chance to do a duet with David Bowie and he offered you like $1 million? Would you take it?
That would be really awesome. Yeah, I probably would.
$1
At
million.
least you're honest.
$1 million. I need the money for
She's
college.
a college kid. She needs
You're
the
gonna
money.
sell your soul to AI.
for college.
So you're saying if David Bowie's voice was AI, would she do a duet with him?
Yeah.
Oh, if it was AI?
Yeah.
He didn't put that in the clause.
That's right. That's right. David Bowie passed away 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm horrible with remembering names.
But tell him, just give him a preface of like what your professors have said, because you're in animation and the future of animation.
I'm doing that at college right now. Outside of music, I'm working on my own book and animations, blah blah blah. The animation industry is also being affected by AI, and I remember, what was it, like last year when like the strike was happening and stuff like that with AI. A few of my professors were like, we don't know what the future is going to look like for you guys, especially like with trying to get a job and all that. I mean, I think it'd be great if AI could make rigs for us. That would be great, because making rigs for specifically like 3D models and stuff like that is complicated and hard. But like if AI could be used to like make those rigs for us like that and be able to analyze, that'd be great. However, I don't want it taking over our jobs. I don't agree with that. And I don't like it when creativity is taken over by something that is not human.
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. But what is it you want to do? You want to do full-time music, or do you want to do full-time something else? Like, do you want to get it into animation, like
Yes.
permanently? Okay. What happens to Elizabeth? You're gonna like abandon her?
No. I firmly believe that we could do everything. If we try. We had a couple guest artists come today speaking on this in the studio. There was it made me think of you and I, Lily, because they're a clarinet duo and they're best friends, and they're so good, but they are, I don't want to guess age, but I'd say they were around Dr. Waldecker's age. They're a little older. And they were talking about balancing all the things, because some of them, I think they teach at universities, but then they also tour and record music and do things like we do. And so they were talking about just balancing all those things. And so I do believe that it is possible. You just have to, there are different seasons in life, and you make room for all of it. Just depends on what you want to do and how you structure it.
Well, you've been doing it the whole time you've been in college. So we have we have been on this journey and been doing both the whole time. So right now the college life has gotten more, more attention because it's needed it. And so we'll be going into a season coming up soon, like when, Elisabeth will graduate with her master's in May, and Lily will be at the end of her junior year. And then the summer will bring about, more opportunities for them to perform and record and things like that. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what are so Elizabeth and Lily? What are the chances of you all working with Ted Perlman again?
Oh, we have plans too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We my brain just left my head.
Yeah, I have it
We have
right
plans to
Yeah, he has it right there. He's holding it up for
you
you.
might need to shake
I'm
it
surprised you
around a
don't walk
little
around
bit.
with
Make
you.
that
I'm
work.
surprised you're walking like this because your head's so heavy. Zombie.
We have plans.
Mother would be saying, Are you doing the Thriller dance?"
That's how I felt all day. I won't
Yeah.
lie. We have plans to write a song with him, because what our process has been previously is bringing him songs that that I've written and that we've worked on together, and then we make some magic. But now we want to write a song with him. So
He
that's
wants to start from the music, not from
yes.
the lyrics.
Yes,
So.
because he teases me about my process, as he's like, he knows that I have ADHD based off of the way that my music is structured. And he's like, I understand how your brain works because of the way you write music. And so, see, but his brain works very similarly, except
Yes.
slightly opposite. But then we figure it out, and so it takes
The
him a
same
minute to
formula, it's just a
understand.
different font.
Yeah, pretty much.
The same formula, it's just a different font. I love that.
Understand how I work, and then so he wants to start from the foundation of it and see what happens that way.
Yeah, I mean, like piece by piece, instrument by instrument, beat by beat is how he wants to start. So
But yeah, I would prefer it that way.
yeah.
So we'll see what happens, and we'll see how different the output is this time. It'll be interesting. It's like
Yeah,
a little
there's a
experiment.
there's a I forget what it's called, but somebody who sees music as colors.
Synesthesia.
Yeah, that's right.
Close
Synesthesia.
to that.
That's amazing. Kind of. That's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty cool.
and we had someone on our platform called Callum Toner, and she had that, and she writes music through colors.
That's
Um,
cool. That is really cool.
so I remember you, Elizabeth. I believe you're talking about the way you to write music and stuff. I
Mhm.
actually I didn't want to say I impressed a girl, but I had a girlfriend named Janet, which anyway, and I have a talent to be able to write backwards. So I can
Hmm.
write backwards, like a whole like backwards. The only way to read is through the mirror. So all the letters I wrote her were backwards, and she had to go to a mirror and read
Cute.
it in the mirror. Meanwhile, she's looking at herself, and it would say, "You are most important. You can do this," and she'd be just staring at herself while she's reading it. It's interesting. It was a great way of
That is so
but
clever.
yeah, I like that. And but uh, but yeah, so the breathe in actually is now what reached number 2. Um, what did it mean to you? Like I know we talked about this before, but it's been a year. How has the song changed you and changed others and gone up the charts? And let's do it again, Lily. We got to do a breathe in too, or something.
See, it's funny because I wanted to write a song to help people struggling with anxiety,
Hmm.
and just because we all struggle with that at some point, Um, and we all have stress in our lives. It was intended to be a lullaby, but then it didn't turn into a lullaby. And the words just kind of came to me. And it's funny because this is something that I wanted to give other people. And now it's something that I have to remind myself all the time. It's like you give advice, but sometimes you have to take your own advice. I mean, I had to do that today. Just be like, okay, breathe in, breathe out. Because we all, no matter what is happening in life, the first thing we forget to do when we're stressed is breathe. And so that's what that whole song is like trying to do, is remind other people that. And then I'm like, you got to do it too. So,
But you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
oh yeah, absolutely. You just got to breathe through it, because it's intended to bring people together, because I mean, we all need oxygen. But I like to say it like Dave Grohl. He said that you can sing a song to 10,000 people and they can sing it back to you for 10,000 different reasons. And that's like kind of the intention behind this song as well, because you never know what somebody else is going through. We all can be trying to breathe for different reasons. And so that was the idea, is to like remind ourselves that, but also kind of give that gift to other people of like, hey, it's okay, just breathe. Even though we know sometimes we hate hearing that. It's like, I know I didn't think about that before, but you know, that's the whole point.
Yeah. So, do you believe that your upbringing, your mom and their dear mom, shaped your music and the themes you explore? Do you think she was a real help or no?
Oh yeah,
No, not at all.
She raised us on classical music, and it's one of my
in the womb, they were listening to Tchaikovsky and Bach and
all the things.
all
I mean,
the things.
I have my graduate recital coming up next month. It's in like 3 weeks, and I'm kind of stressed about it.
I was wondering we were going to talk about it. I just looked at that the other day and I went, oh my gosh.
We're just, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I, unintentionally programmed a bunch of, well, it's music from the Romantic period, but it's classical music. It's the golden age of clarinet repertoire, and I owe a lot of that love to what my parents raised me on.
It's beautiful. And then both the girls have played in orchestras, so it's amazing that like that was like their babyhood. And it's funny because Elisabeth, her, like when she was 2, that was her favorite music, was the orchestra music. That's what she loved when she was little bitty. And we, spin around, dance around, do all her little things. And then I introduced her to Billy Idol at 5. And 5 was like, she thought the Billy Idol song, Dancing with Myself, was the funniest song ever written.
It's still one of my favorite
This
songs.
is so funny, mommy.
See, I love it though, because I love my classical music and I love my rock and everything in between. But I firmly believe that some of these like big name composers would have been metalheads had they lived today. You can't tell me otherwise. Because I mean, if you listen to Vivaldi's Winter, you can't tell me that he wouldn't be shredding on guitar. Listen. It's funny.
That's a beautiful one.
Kind of overlaps like that sometimes.
Yeah, Vanessa May, who's a violinist, she did a really good version of that one. Yeah, wow. I thought that you're talking about Billy Idol. I'm thinking that song "Eyes Without a Face" would have scared the heck out of you.
I don't think she ever.
Eyes without a face.
No. I don't know that they really remember that song as much as Dan.
No. I do. I have his stuff on vinyl. I've listened to a lot of Billy.
Oh, right. Now you have, but I think my husband saw him in concert. That would have been 2005. So my husband had gone to Las Vegas. Yes, he had gone to Las Vegas with work, and he had seen Billy Idol in concert and brought me home a CD because he knew, I mean, I'm an 80s music kid, right? So we love Billy Idol, right? So I remember him bringing it home, and of course I had to play it. And then the girls were like, "Oh, because this music is exciting." So
it is. It's very fun, and that also, I'm gonna blame my mom on my CD collection obsession because she's got a full thing, and so do I. And I didn't even. I was like, "Oh, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree."
Well, also with books, we both love our bookshelves of books.
Yes, I've organized them
just to know them. And then their aunt, I remember her telling me, your Aunt Susanna, saying, "Oh, we got rid of all the books because I can just get it on Kindle." So they have no bookshelf. She has no bookshelves with books. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know that I could do that."
It's like I have a Kindle, but I also have my physical books.
Yeah,
me too.
And my vinyl.
Yeah, so if anybody's listening out there too, Lily is in the middle of getting her book edited. We're on books. So getting her YA sci-fi fantasy book edited professionally. So we're now looking for a literary agent or a publisher. So
Oh, what's it about?
5 books in the series, man.
What's the series about?
Oh, that is.
How long do you have to sit and talk?
Trying for years to
give me a small little who's the main character? What's it about? And what's the?
There's not a who, it's a them.
Them.
There's multiple. It's called United 9. It's about 9 main characters. Yay. It's about a group of kids, high school. They go on this project, this field trip, and it's a project. They have to find a gemstone and figure out what kind it is. The gemstone they find is a little weird.
It's not from this planet.
It, like, explodes, and they get superpowers from it, and they go to like this facility called the APSNA. Blah blah blah. It's this freaky superhero story about adventure and discovering what you can do and uncovering mysteries and stopping evil. It's really cool. I love it.
That was actually a really good way to shorten it, because you're going to have to be concise when you put the synopsis on the back.
Well, what did Joe? What did the editor say? He said it's. What are the two different?
They didn't give me a summary. What are you talking about?
He said it's like Percy Jackson and the Lightning King Thief meets something else. But I can't remember what he said.
Something else, but that's what he compared my story to, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, because that's a really popular book series. So if mine's kind of like that, that's really cool, actually.
It's popular enough that they made 2 movies and a TV show.
I want to make a TV show. That's the whole reason I'm in animation right now. I want to turn my book into a TV show.
With Ted Perlman being the one to do all the music. And
I don't know. Ted and Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth can make all the. And actually, your buddy Cam, your sidekick Cam.
It's fun because one of my coworkers here at school, we're both graduate assistants. He's a conducting major, but he studied composition, and so Lily has asked him to score one of her animations, which I think is cool. And so it's fun networking like that, especially when you can do it with your friends and like-minded people and people who are good at what they do, because he's good at what he does. So.
Yes. I actually haven't heard any of his compositions, so like I guess we'll find out.
I got you. So little side note, we just went to CUSA, right? He did an arrangement of the 90s song Bow Tie, I think it's early 2000s, and we played it. He made an arrangement of a song, and we played it there, and it was cool.
So cool.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. Wow.
It was fun.
You have to tell Cam you gave him a plug.
I will. He'll be like, what? Okay.
Well, if you could turn any of your favorite authors or books into a musical, what book would that be?
Oh, that is a good question.
Oh, because they have some favorites.
Like any of our favorite books or movies or anything like that? Into like a
any books that you could turn into an animation or film.
Can it be a graphic novel?
He said
anything. It'd be like Dear Robert Heinlein or something.
Oh gosh.
Evan Hansen.
Yeah, Evan Hansen.
Me and my friend today were talking about Siren's Lament and how it should be a freaking TV show.
That would be good. I'd watch that. That would be cool.
It's a web comic that me and Elisabeth have been reading for a really long time. It's a really well-written story, and this creator, she's been making stuff for forever, and I'm like, she deserves a TV show. I was talking about this with my friend today, and I was like, that was the first webtoon I ever read.
It was one of the first
comic. You know, it's such a great story. I would love to see it as a TV show.
See, well, I was about to say anything by Michael Connolly, but he does have a TV show. So that's the TV show that Nini and I were watching based off of those.
Right. What was that TV show?
It's called Bosch. It's good. Bosch. Those books are good too. I'm trying to think of what I'm reading. I'm reading too many things right now. I'm in the middle of reading Wicked, which is already a movie and a musical and a movie.
Yeah.
I have to think.
Yeah, so you can't say Wicked. It's already been there, done that.
Gosh, darn it.
I just found out recently that Wicked is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz. Did you know that?
Yes.
I didn't know that until like a couple of months ago. And then they go through the whole storyline, but the Wicked Witch and where Glinda fits in and Dorothy. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't know this at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do literally like a sequel or a prequel to one of your favorite movies, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Wicked was the first show that I saw on stage. I was 8 years old, and I fell in love with that show, and I fell in love with the theater. So I remember being 8 and being like, "Oh my goodness, it was cool."
Yeah, we had great seats too.
Do what?
We had great seats.
I know, we were right down in the front, right by the orchestra pit.
Elizabeth, you just want to be popular.
We love that song. It's so great. Oh gosh. And I think that Ariana Grande did a great job in the movie.
I was very impressed.
Yeah, she did such a good job. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, remember, Lily, this the series that you do of It Becomes TV show. Remember, it has to be like since you're special needs advocacy, you have to have a lot of inclusivity, diversity, and people with Down syndrome and autistic people in there. Maybe the main character has autism or something.
I think
she's got a lot of diversity in her characters, which is cool because you've done that since like you started writing it too.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different types of characters. I have a handicapped character too. He's in a wheelchair. I tried to add like a lot of diversity with my characters. I haven't really thought about if any of them actually have autism or not, but like Andrew definitely does.
Wow.
That one definitely does. But I guess it'd be something, it wouldn't be directly said, but just like rather show rather than tell, you know? And that's mainly what I do with my characters and in stories. I like to show rather than tell. And that it's more like, how does the audience relate? And they relate in any way that they want, I guess.
Wow. I know it's like a, I don't really want to mention, I know it's a very deep question, but how did the death of Melanie Safka, how did you deal with that?
That's still a hard one. I mean, Carson and I pray every night, and Melanie's included in our prayers that God watches over her, along with an uncle we lost and a cousin and grandparents and, you know, our family dog. So everybody is included in that prayer every night. That was a really hard one, especially because Melanie's death, it turns out, I think there was negligence that happened. That was unintentional. And so there's a whole thing going on with that. So that makes it hard when you know, the person maybe could have lived. I think that makes it really hard. But, there's a lot that's come out of all of it. And
we've been wanting to sing more.
The girls sing some of her songs. Yeah.
So her legacy can be carried on, And it was hard because we just saw her right before it happened.
Yeah, we saw her New Year's Day because we always go over to her daughter, Layla, and I have been good friends for a long time. So we always go over for New Year's Day. And we literally had sat down with her. She was here at the end of the table, and she sang Auld Lang Syne.
No, I remember that. She was like, let's sing Auld Lang Syne, and then everybody joined in. And I've known the words for a long time. One, because the words were written by a Scottish poet, and we did this whole thing in my undergrad about it, blah, 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 blah. But I remember singing along because, it's Auld Lang Syne. And her granddaughter, who's one of my friends, was like, how do you know the words to this? What? But it was just a fun moment because Melanie brought everybody together.
So that was like January 1st. And then I think she went into the hospital on the 12th. And I actually, you know what, Chris, this is going to be so weird. I actually had texted her that day about you interviewing her. And I still have the text message. And, I said, Melanie, I have somebody who wants to interview you on their show. And she said, oh, Mary, that would be wonderful. That really lifts my spirits. I'm in the ER right now. She was having breathing problems. And that was on the 12th. And I think the 17th is when she died. So
it's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It was hard. Her funeral was so unique to her. She was not in a casket. She was wrapped in shroud and flowers and laid in the earth.
Wow. How come? Like, that's weird.
Because she was very much a naturalist, and the whole 60s and 70s, the whole earthy, and, she was very natural about everything. And it really was one of the most beautiful ceremonies. I think and the girls and I've talked about it. It was really beautiful. And we saw Melanie there. You know, each of us have dreamed. She's come to our dreams. You know, she's come to me in meditation. But we've all seen her. Even Carson has seen her. So after the funeral, in just like prayer and like a vision, you know, seeing her face and her being there with her kids. And, you know, I know she looked at me and she goes, "I know, Mary, I know." So,
Yeah, that's terrible.
you know, miss her. She was really, I think Bo, her son, has had just a really, really hard time. So I keep in touch with them, and the girls have continued to sing her songs, you know, whenever they get a chance to. They'll pay a tribute to Melanie.
That'd be great if you did like a tribute to with using like brand new key, and maybe Lily can be the one skating around, and then you know, let's come out do 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 do. You know, I think it'd
Well,
be
she did get
great.
skates for Christmas, so you know you need to use them.
Oh yes, I haven't used them at all. I need to.
So
That'd be
yeah,
cute.
was that one challenge? One of the challenges you face as emerging artist? How did you overcome that whole thing with your music? Like Melanie passed, so she's your, you know, she was your friend, she's close to her, and then it kind of affects you. It's like, I don't know if you remember, like Imagine Dragons, Dan Reynolds, lead singer of Imagine Dragons, they wrote a song called Wrecked. Now
Mhm.
you may not know this, but that he wrote it about his brother's wife who died of cancer, Alicia.
Mhm.
So he wrote a song called Wrecked, how he felt when she died, and all
Mm.
that. So do you think your songs from after Melanie's death are affected to the point that it's more emotional for you, more like this is
I
for you now?
I think it holds a different meaning because it really reminded me how short life is and how precious time is with people,
Mhm.
especially because last year there were a lot of really wonderful things that came out of last year, but
Hmm.
for our family specifically, we experienced a lot of loss
Mm.
along with Melanie because we had a cousin pass away unexpectedly, and some of mom and dad had friends' mothers pass within, like, weeks of
It
each
was,
other, and
yeah,
then
it was like boom, boom, boom. It was like 4 or 5 of them just every time we turned around, somebody else passed away, and it was just it was. And then my mother, their grandmother in May, and then our family dog in July, and
so it was
was
just it was a lot. It was a lot to experience in a short amount of time because Melanie it was so hard, and then when you had that I remember her passing and it just being like, "Oh god, life is so short. We have to hold on to all of these things." And I just listened to more and more of her music and could just hear that she wanted to bring people together in love and in song. And that's the whole idea, which is why we wanted to sing some more of her music because that aligns with what we want to do with our music as well. And then when we experienced more loss, it just became even more profound.
Yeah.
As deep as those emotions are and just trying to keep moving forward because time doesn't stop. The world doesn't stop, even though it feels like everything should. Music I've always said, because I saw this somewhere, that art decorates space, but music decorates time. So when time
Mhm.
feels like it stops, music is what brings us all together in moments like that. So I think it's kind of deepened our perspective on our music.
Yeah. Monday would have been my dad's birthday, so I went to visit the grave, and one of my old neighbors in my own hometown's like 93 now. But yeah, I kind of miss him. He died like 23 years ago. But
Mm.
I, you know, every year it's so like that song, "Empty Chairs and Empty Tables" by Les
From Les Mis, yeah.
Miserables, Miserables,
Yeah,
Les
Les
Mis-
Miserables.
yeah. And basically at Christmas, you know, there's a table and there's an empty chair and empty table where they would. My mother is also gone, so that I can see where that would hit you. Um,
Well, they also sang at both of their grandparent. Well, their my husband's parents, both of their funerals. They sang at, and that was
Well, we've sung it
that's
3
Yeah, you sang at my dad's funeral too. So I think they're very brave to do that. And certainly nobody forced them and said, you got to do this. They did it because their grandparents loved their music so much and they wanted to honor them. So I think that's a hard thing to do.
Yes,
Now-
especially because Carson sang with us.
Oh gosh, yeah. Okay, now we got to move on. We got to talk about something else. I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah.
What's that? I'm happy.
It was brave of him to do that. 'Cause, I mean, he's 11.
Lily, do you think your passion for animation filmmaking complement your music career? Do you think that you can do both of them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I need music for animation.
That's true.
It's one thing I've always wanted to do. My main goal is, because I love doing all different things, I saw that all of that comes together when making a film or a TV show. You get music, you get acting, you get the art, you get it all. I mean, and I love doing every single one of those. We grew up doing all of them. I mean,
Yes.
if I'm going to do something with my life, I wanted to be something where I can continue to do the things that I love. And
Well, all three of us have done pretty much everything in a theater production.
oh yeah.
So
And, I was like, I want to make movies. And all the things that I love to do and I'm passionate about, I can do it through those. I can have, yeah, and I want to incorporate our music and stuff through whatever I make. I mean,
right. And both the girls, I think, are a testament for anyone out there, any parents, any young people, any young adults who has a challenge or disability of any kind. And I don't like to use the word disability at all, but has a challenge or they're differently abled. There is so much you can do. Do not define yourself in your life by what you're looking at in the mirror, right? I mean, Elisabeth had such a hard time as a child talking to people. Her shyness was almost debilitating for her, and she's had a lot of sensory stuff. But she's used the arts to help her get through. And look what it's done for her. I mean, she's just accomplished so much. I had no idea as a mom what she would accomplish and what she's continuing to do, which is just, God, it's amazing. And Lily, who was nonverbal and had a lot of different other things that happened to her in her life. And, here she is, third year, animation. The girls sing. They've got music that's out all over the world. And she's got this 500-page novel that'll get, it will be produced. I know it. And so they have all these things they want to do in their lives. And it's just, I just tell parents, don't tell your child no, and don't define them by whatever diagnosis they might get. I mean, for the first time in my little guy's life, he has no speech, no OT, and he's in the classroom doing everything like all the other kids, the same workload. So it is doable and it's possible. Now, what that requires is a family that works together. It requires a family that stays together, works together. There's sacrifice that happens. There's determination, there's purpose, and there's support, and there's therapies, and whatever is required to get to where we are. It didn't just happen. We're not privileged. We don't have millions of dollars. We don't. So, but it is doable for anyone out there. So,
Do you believe that your faith guides you and influence everything, like your music and your writings?
yes.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, oh my God.
Person.
I do not know what they're doing downstairs, but they're
I
having.
knew that was him.
Yes, I know. So
You know the way that he yells like in this specific way.
Well, no problem. I got a few more questions. Don't worry about it. So I'll get you back to your son in no time.
it's fine. I know the girls have work to do at school. Yes, but we're so glad to be here with you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Yes, and so tell me about that, Mary. Tell me, Mary. Hello, Mary. Remember, It's a Wonderful Life, Mary.
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh yeah, no, that's not a pretty spot on.
So I'm a big, huge Jimmy Stewart fan. So explain this quote. So it talks about about you and your diverse talents and encompassing roles. So, explain to cherish every moment of life and explore. Like, what does it mean to cherish every moment of life?
It's like kind of like what Elisabeth was talking about. We need to. It's important for us to live in the moment and not in the future, not in the past. And all of us do it, and it just trips you up so bad. But especially when you have things like what we went through this last year, if we don't cherish every moment that we have in our life, like really put that intention there to be in the moment, you miss so much, And so I think it's super important to, like, we have a saying with us and our family, let's go, we're going to go make memories right now. And that's what we do. We go and make memories a lot with the things that we go do together. Or we say, this is an adventure and we're making memories. So we got 2 things going on that are amazing right now. But I just think it's to honor every moment in your life and to really hold space for that and really be grateful.
Yeah. How about you, Elizabeth?
It's very similar to what Mom was saying. I was thinking about this yesterday actually, because I'm in my last semester of grad school, and there's just so much happening every second of every day. And I'm trying to just yes, I just got off spring break, but it wasn't really a break because I was working and doing other things. I had an opportunity to lead the pep band. It was really cool. And I'm just trying to enjoy every moment and not stress about what comes after and just look forward to it rather than it's scary because I don't know what's going to happen, but also I'm just really excited. And so I'm trying to live every day and just have fun, to really try to have more of a positive mindset and be like, oh, instead of being, ugh, I have to get up, I have to go do these things, I have to go do this, I'd rather be doing this. No, be like, I get to get up, I've woken up again, I get to go play music with some really talented musicians because I'm surrounded by so many talented people. I get to do these things. They gave me this position. They could have given it to anybody else, but they gave it to me. So I am happy to be here. And it's definitely helped my mental headspace this semester compared to last semester. And especially because this semester is crazy. So I'm just trying to enjoy it and remember and live in the moment rather than live in the future or in the past, like what Mom said. Now, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I have my moments where I'm like, oh my god.
But you slip off the bandwagon.
Yes, but that is the goal. That is the goal.
What about you, Lily? You're the silent one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm here, I promise. I know that lately, like, I've had a hard time just enjoying just being in the here and now, with schoolwork and like working through old things. I had a bad experience around this time last semester, and I'm working through it and healing.
Last year.
Last year. Yeah, like this time last year. It was actually a little after our interview the first time that we had a talk, I think. But lately, just even with anxiety that's come up or just stress with work, like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I've got this major project I'm having to work on that will define the rest of my work here at Lipscomb, like, shush. Don't look at me like that. But lately, at least these past few days, it's just been like, why am I wasting my energy focusing on the negative?
Yeah.
What am I doing? There's such good things happening right now. This project is stressful, but it is a great opportunity. This doesn't have to be a bad thing. I get to do this. What I'm in the pep band too here. I just found out we're going to March Madness, and they're like, the pep band is coming. Did I not tell
Good.
you this?
No.
Oh my God, I haven't
She's
told
going to Milwaukee on Thursday.
Milwaukee.
Yes.
What?
I thought you knew this. Hang on, let me tell the
We
story.
haven't talked- no, I just got back from Huntsville for the COSA tournament.
I
Okay.
know.
Yeah, so Elisabeth conducts the pep band at MTSU, and Lily is in the pep band at Lipscomb.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious, and I love it that they're
You're
getting
going to March Madness in
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
I was
Well, you knew they won. I mean, you knew they won on Sunday, right?
No, I was
apparently we
traveling
didn't
back
tell her.
from
Okay.
Huntsville.
Okay.
I didn't know anything else that was happening. Continue. Sorry. Go ahead.
They just actually found out, Liz. They just found out they're going.
Yeah. But yeah, we won, blah blah blah. I went home for spring break, relaxed, got stressed about homework, came back Sunday. It was the watch party. They had a watch party, and it was like, we gotta watch to see if we're going and where we're going, and we're going to Milwaukee. I've never been to Milwaukee, but this is the first time that Lipscomb has had a pep band.
Mm-hmm.
I never ever thought it would go this far. And like, even with stuff I'm still dealing with and overcoming, I was like, this, I get to be a part of this movement that's like bringing joy to the games. Like, I've never had this much school spirit at Lipscomb ever.
Yeah, I know what it is about being in the band. It makes you root for the
Oh my
team like
God.
crazy.
And like, even I know this week I was like, I found out that they don't really have enough money to support the band just yet because it's brand new. So we're driving over
Oh, listen, they're going to be on a bus.
Thursday night at
no.
midnight.
Hey, those band trips are fun.
It'll be fun. But
Make friends.
and this whole week I've been like, oh, that's gonna be so stressful and strenuous. And I'm like, but I get to be with my friends. I get to watch her freaking basketball team maybe beat Iowa. I want them to beat Iowa so bad. But just lately it's just been like, why am I even wasting my time on this negative stuff when literally God is like, hey, look how pretty the sun is today.
I love that. Oh my God, there's the next T-shirt. I love it.
That one specific breeze, it reminded you of that one moment in childhood. It's like, isn't that a good thing? Like,
yeah, let me just.
You drew something today. Isn't that a good thing? All good things come from him. He's always here to make you like. He's always here to bring the good stuff, and it's just like, why do we reject those sometimes just because, like, oh, something bad's gonna happen? So what? What good does it do you dwelling on it?
I mean, both of you performed live in front of 15,000 people at Hendersonville's Got Talent, so you would do pretty well. I don't see you failing at that. Oh, what is fake? That was AI?
Get that out of here.
Yeah. Well, they were so much younger. Oh my gosh, that was 2016. They were so young. I don't even think they realized it. Like when they got up on stage, it was like, oh, it's like, okay.
There's people here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Listen, even though we did do that, like we did that.
Right.
I still get nervous to perform.
Oh yeah.
I performed this morning and my hands were all sweaty. I was like trying to get ready to perform. It was funny.
Wow. And Lily, also you created the you developed the cover for an open win. I mean, like you can do all these wonderful things, so I don't think you should worry. You're doing well.
Thank you.
Drill it into your forehead.
Okay, that's ditto. I'm going like this.
I'm sorry.
Chris and I are on this side. Y'all are on that side.
No, we're proud of you.
We love you so much.
Yeah. So what new music are you planning to now? Like what's going to be better than your last song?
So we have a couple things. Well, we've recorded a song called Creeks and Rivers, but we're going to go back and revise a few things. So we're hoping to release that. We want to re-release our song You Shine Through, which we're hoping to do. And that song is just about no matter what happens, God's love and light is always shining through the cracks and all the dust. things like that.
It
And
was so beautiful.
now Lily wrote a song, and it's very, very cool. And we're working on a collaboration with Alex Zolt, and we're going to.
He's America's gospel pianist. He just did a duet with Dolly Parton last year. So.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we are very excited to see what comes of this, because he's incredible. And Lily's song, I mean, I don't want to speak for you if you want to.
I had written a song or just come up with a melody. I think I came up with it in high school, like just the first part of it.
Oh my gosh, skew.
I don't know why I did that, but
I gotta go skew.
It's not funny. I've got skew.
anyways,
Good old girls, do. Wanna no harm. You put girls in there instead of boys.
Yeah.
The girls from Hazard.
Anyways, sorry.
Go ahead.
I had originally just started coming up with songs that I wanted to incorporate in my stories, and around the time I'd come up with like a fantasy story, so like think Narnia. I'm gonna do that after this series. I'm excited. But I wanted to come up with like a folklore song for it, but I wanted it to allude to God. So the song talks about this king on his mountain, on his kingdom is here for everyone. It's alluding to God, but I want it to be sung in a fantasy world setting. But the idea and message of it is that his kingdom is for everyone. And yeah, I'm really excited. And Lisa says it sounds like a hymnal.
It does sound like a hymn, and Alex agrees with me. And it's got this pedal like
Like
march.
a
Like a
drum.
march.
It feels very much like because it's what you call it, the river song. Is that what you want to call it? I forget.
The Song of Home is what I
Song
call
of
it.
Home, that's right. I'm
The
sorry.
idea is that you're being called to a true home.
Yeah, it's talking about people walking along a river to go home. And so like what's cool is that the way that she wrote it unintentionally, it sounds like a march, or like a march is in like you're walking, like the beat is like you're walking.
That was my idea for it. I wanted it to give that feel. Like it could be sung as like a sea shanty.
Kind of, sort of, yes, that vibe.
There once was a ship of to sea.
Yeah, that was the song that was going in my head.
Oh my gosh, we've heard that song so many times.
The same, like that drum. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna do a duet with Chris Chitsey. He's a country music artist that is just big. He's doing very, very well.
Nice.
Such a sweetheart.
Yes, he wants it to be either like a gospel or secular country. So we're not sure what it's going to be, but we're really excited for them to do this with him because he's a super guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, here's a closer question for all three of you. So you got to answer each one. You got to answer this question for each of you. So starting with your mom, Mary. Mary, so
I'm in the hot seat.
What?
I'm in the hot seat first.
Okay, you're in the hot seat first. Yes. So what advice would you give to a young author who wants to pursue their dream? And for you two, young artists pursuing their dream. So instead of artists, it'll be like, so Mary, author.
Okay, so I would just say read as much as you can, especially in the genre that you want to write. Find out how they do it. Follow the people who are most successful. See how they do it. See who their publisher is. But most of all, don't wait. If you want to write. You may write a whole bunch and it never gets published and it's just stuff you throw out or stuff you keep, but don't stop if you want to. And don't wait for the cabin in the woods or the cottage on the beach. You got to write whenever it comes. And for us creatives, it's usually 3:00 in the morning. So I've interviewed people for 7 years. I've interviewed people and everyone, that's pretty much what they say. Yeah, it's 3:00 in the morning. And I'm just like, I just want to sleep right now. You leave me alone. So I would say, do it. If you want to do it, do it. But really be well versed in whatever genre that you want to write, and follow whoever those famous authors are. See how they do things. How do they write things? So.
That's really wonderful. How about you, Elisabeth and Lily? If someone came up to you after a concert and said, "We like what you do. I want to follow in your footsteps. I want to be a country artist. I want to be a singer. What do I do?" What would you say?
It's somewhat similar to what Mom said, just under the light of music like this. Just see what other people are doing. Don't wait for an opportunity. Make them yourself. Network, meet people, because you never know where that's going to lead you. Oftentimes it's all in who you know. See what other people are doing, depending on what genre you want to do. There's so much stuff online. There's a lot of good advice online, but also don't be afraid to be different, because a lot of what's popular, all of it sounds the same. So you can take like what these people are doing, because obviously they're successful for some reason, but then make it your own, because a lot of people, they love original stuff, and make it your own. So don't try to go be like everybody else, but also see what everybody's doing, because I mean, it's working for a reason. But I mean, that's something Lily and I try to do, because we love a lot of what's out there, but we also have our own style that there's not a lot of people who do it the same way that we do. But that's okay. That's exciting. Because you get to like open a new door, and yeah. So
That's awesome. And you're gonna say anything?
Yeah, I was waiting patiently.
Sorry.
Honestly, what I would say, if like someone was wanting to pursue this, find what inspires you. What inspires you, what drives you, and remember that no matter what people tell you, if like, I don't know, you hit a wall, writer's block, what is it, artist block, whatever the block is, remember that there's a reason that you have that passion and drive for it in the first place.
Your why.
Okay.
And there's never give up. There's a reason why that passion was set on your heart. A little man.
He was just like, he says, you want to say hi?
That who you are is just as important with everything. There's a reason.
That's excellent. I love that.
There's a reason for everything, and it's a good reason.
Yeah, live one day at a time too. Just let things happen.
Lord, please do that.
I'm so proud of you girls. You're such an inspiration, both of you.
Both of you have an inspiration. That's why I wanted you on again. Everyone, thank you for joining us. So everything will be linked down below. Elisabeth and Lily Jackson at the SistersJ.com, and then her manager, SistersJ Music, will be MaryEJackson.com, is an author. So check out her stuff. They also have a YouTube channel, official SistersJ Music. And we're going to link Breathe In featuring Ted Perlman, Clearly Open When, will be linked down below, and all their socials, so you can contact them and talk to them and
say hi.
Say hi. Hi. Okay, ladies, thank you very much for joining me today. We're going to end the stream. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Chris. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.